Hi there, everyone. My name is Christian Eschbach, and I'm here with my lovely kitty assistant, Pandora, who is just thrilled about being on camera. Aren't you, baby? Yeah? Huh? You happy to be on camera? Yeah? What do you say? Yeah. Come on, that's some love, right? That is some love right there. Some kitty breath. Whew, some kitty breath. All right. Encouragement. You want to see more kitty? Like button, subscribe button, little bell for notifications. Leave a comment below. All right, let's get into this album. This album was a request. This album was a request by a person who said, "Don't tell me, don't say my name." So, um, that's cool. I think this album was a gauntlet being thrown down, man. This was a challenge. This was someone going, "I dare you. I double dare you. I double dog dare you to try and find something wrong with this album." And I did. I found something wrong with this album. We are talking about Beyond the Black. All right, so let's start with the main musicians, okay? Because this is listed as symphonic metal. There's a lot of symphony in there. I have not read all the transcription side. I'm just reading the main stuff on the outside here, so I do not know how the symphony stuff was created and produced, who programmed it or played it via whatever. Okay, so we got Jennifer Haben on vocals. She is the consistent from day one all the way through with the band. Chris Hermsdorfer. I do apologize if I pronounce these wrong. That's guitar and vocals. From here on out, I refer to Chris as Mr. Growly. Okay. We got Toby Loads also on guitars. No bass is mentioned here, but I could hear the bass in there. And then you got Kai. Oh, this is a pain. Tersheshki. Tersheshki. Oh, I'm gonna put that one up here, man, because that one's just not easy to say. Sorry. Okay. Ooh. All right. I want to start with this album. I don't like it being called symphonic metal. Definitely got symphonic in it, so that's not the part in question. I question the metal aspect of it. There's a sound to this album, and the sound I instantly go to is Alice Cooper's Hey Stupid album, specifically the sound on the Hey Stupid album. It also makes me think a little bit of Danzig with Danzig 3. There's certain elements that these bands that were listed as metal for those albums specifically, but they're not really metal. You know, those albums were more of a rock kind of vein, a heavy rock, a really heavy rock. You know, easily mixed up with metal in the vein of glam metal kind of thing, right? So this kind of has, and I don't want to associate this with glam, and I'm not associating any Alice or Danzig in that specific context with glam. But this album here, the overall sound of that, if you took those albums and added orchestration over top of it, I feel that'd be a little more appropriate to describe the overall kind of vibe of this album. So I don't like symphonic metal as the right description. Also, when talking female vocalists in symphonic metal, oh, Jennifer here. stands above the rest, okay? This is why, once again, I have a hard time leaning towards the symphonic metal, because I would liken Jennifer closer to the great vocals of Liz Hale. Okay, so and the lovely and talented Ms. Wilson from Heart. Oh. The first woman whose voice I ever fell in love with, Liz Hill's, was the second. Do I think I will fall in love with Jennifer's voice? No. But that's just because, while she gets close to that rawness that you get with rock and roll, she's not quite there. The voice isn't quite raw enough. But is she good? Oh my God, she is good. I have no complaints about the way this woman sings on this album at all. She is amazing on this album. The guitar work is also, when you hear the solos on this album, it's not solos and shredding for the sake of wanking off. It's solos that fit nicely within this album. And I'm gonna stress this right now before I get into the songs, okay? Because I'm just gonna talk about this album right off the bat before I get into the songs, and then I'm gonna give a final synopsis at the end here. My only complaint on this entire album is the goddamn double kick drum. Oh, the rapid fire double kick drum. I love double bass. I play double bass. I get double bass. Double bass has its uses, but even in short bursts, it is because it's very generic. You get, okay. So I don't like it because of how generic it sounds. It always sounds like it's a machine that's doing it. It doesn't sound like real drums. Now, it's obviously real drums, and it's obviously a real drummer. And it's very rarely used on here. And there's a couple times where it's used, I actually don't mind it, because it's used just perfectly. There's a few times on here, though, and I will mention it, that I don't like it. And it is the only thing I will complain about this entire album. Is every song a single? No. But the songs that aren't single are just great album cuts. There are some songs that have been released as singles that I'm surprised. And I didn't discover that until I was actually writing up the review even for some of them, which I'll get into as I go here. So, let's get into the songs, okay? Is there anybody out there opens up the album? Great opening to the album. It's full octane right off the bat. It's straight ahead. Right away, you can hear the voice in there. You can hear Jennifer's voice, and you can hear what you're going to get. And she's got some gorgeous range. And on this one, this is a little more, the vocal range is a little more Nightwishy. Just a little bit. And I don't mind a little Nightwishy. That's okay, because I don't mind a little Nightwish. I just don't like a lot of Nightwish. One album every once in a while I'm good with. Select songs regularly, cool. Jennifer, on the other hand, brilliant job. Okay, from there we move on to Reincarnation. Okay, this is the song. This song was ruined by the double bass in the chorus, the double bass drum. It ruined the song for me in the chorus. This song is so good. The acoustic sections in the verses is brilliant. And then when you get into this kind of cool little synthy kind of phase-induced pre-chorus stuff. And then all of a sudden it kicks into this double bass drum shit. Oh. I mean, I'm even okay with Mr. Growly going on. And this is the first time that you get a Mr. Growly. And Mr. Growly, by the way, is my joke for, like the vocals are growling over top of it. He's not singing, he's growling these vocals. And it's okay. I don't mind his growling. It's pretty cool. It works within the album. And it's not horrible. They don't overuse it. That's the best part. It gets used, and when it does get used, it gets used right, I find. But that freaking, oh. Okay. But the choruses are still actually really good, and they're kind of catchy. I hate the drums on them. Then we go into Free Me. This would be the first song from the album that really feels symphonic metal to me. The two previous songs, they're not symphonic metal. The first one definitely has that more that rock, hard, heavy rock kind of sound. Second one is, I described the three different kind of sections going through there. To me, I kind of want to say it's got kind of a cowboy element, not country or a woodsman, like a horseman. It's got a horseman kind of element to it. That's what it sounds like to me. It's a horseman kind of element. Free Me, though, is the first one. Definitely has that symphonic mellow kind of vibe going on. I mean, the vocals are basically, the really pretty kind of cliche Nightwish style kind of, ooh, look at, I'm trying to hit all the perfect notes properly, and then you got the orchestra, and then you got the metal band. But this is the nice part. This is where this was the first song where I really kind of got into Jennifer as a vocalist, because you can hear the rawness in certain parts of this song, and you hear her go from that raw kind of cool rock sound vocal and transform into the great, beautiful, pure kind of vocals. Really, really, really well done, and really fantastic. What do we got after that? We got Winter Is Coming after that. Now, this one I was surprised. I found out afterwards that this one ended up getting a video. And it's really surprising because I think it is a incredibly great, solid album track. And it's really super enjoyable when the album's going. I didn't think of it as a single, and when I was doing the review, I discovered that this one actually had a video for it. I'm like, really? Oh, okay. Sure. So I was kind of surprised by that. But this is the first song on this album where, to me, it is a solid album track. Like, the first three songs, I believe all three are singles, and all three are easily understandable as singles. Winter Is Coming as another one. I was kind of surprised that this one was done as a single. But, okay, sure. To me, it was more of a great solid album track. Then you got Into the Light, which follows that up. And this one, single. To me, this was an easy single. It's a killer album cut as well. I mean, really, because it's got such a great, catchy chorus and such great super hooks in it and whatnot. It is very easy. Like in the US, if rock radio, this, like if I'm trying to get Beyond the Black onto Detroit radio, Into the Light would be the song I'd be playing to help start getting them out there, because it's got the right amount of pop to it, the right amount of catch to it. Everything about it would appeal properly to a rock station. Plus, it's got some extra depth to it. I really do think that we need to get back to more regional style people that do, because regions are still affected by music. Like, as much as they try to mainstream stuff, Detroit radio is not in the slightest. Like, even take CanCom out of the equation. Detroit radio is not in the slightest anything like Toronto radio. It's nothing like London radio. Even Windsor, I'm in the city of Windsor. Even Windsor radio itself is still different than Detroit radio is. And for how huge of a black population Detroit still has, rock radio in Detroit is still huge. To the point where rock radio is now back to what it was like when I was a kid, where you have certain rock radio stations that literally cover specific areas within rock. And I'm not just talking like classic rock on one station. Like, two of the stations will do, there's a multitude of classic rock. it's really, yeah, they do. They break it up, and like certain stations cover certain things, and it's just, yeah. Okay. So Into the Light, because of stuff like that, Into the Light should be being released in markets like Detroit, and then pushing markets like Detroit, and that for the kind of rock element that it is out there, and it would really kind of get more of it. And there's another song coming up after that, same situation, and it is a single as well, but I'll get to it. Okay. Then we got Wide Awake. This is a very pretty song. This is okay. So most of my complaints usually when it comes to female vocals is how pretty the songs get, and it really bugs me because I like it a little raw, I like it a little dirty. When I think of hard rock and heavy metal, I think a little raw, I think a little dirty. Okay, not clean and polished and pretty and pristine and stuff like that. It's something that's happened over the years that I'm just. It's not bad, but you kind of want that darker edge to it. And Wide Awake, with this whole album having that darker edge, this whole album's got that great edge to it. Wide Awake, though, is just this beautiful, kind of lighter song. Fantastic album cut. It's this beautiful song that's plugged right in the middle of the album. It's very pretty. It gives you something a little different, and it's really enjoyable. Then we hit Dancing in the Dark. This is another song, huge. Should be a monstrous single. This could and should be burning up radio tracks. It really should be. And this is one of the things I hate about radio and the way radio is now too. You don't get enough newer music on the radio anymore because of the way that radio has been bastardized and manipulated and whatnot. And it really sucks because songs like this should be burning up the tracks. They should be these new things. This is why hard rock and heavy metal is so kind of underground right now. Because songs like this that could easily push it out into the forefront aren't doing it the way they could be. Dancing in the Dark, brilliant song. Go watch the music video for this. If there's any song off this album, if you're just watching this to discover this band, Dancing in the Dark, by far, you got to go watch the music video for this. It's great. It really is super catchy. It's awesome. That's by Raise Your Head, which is another strong album cut. Not in Our Name. When this band does acoustic, they do acoustic right, man. Oh my God, it always sounds beautiful. That Horseman kind of vibe. They always kind of have that Horseman kind of vibe to it. And that's the best way I know how to put it, because sometimes it sounds kind of cowboyish. Sometimes it sounds like riders going through the woods almost in a vibe. But Horseman, definitely Horseman involved. And this one's that riders going through the desert kind of thing. The previous one was kind of horsemen going through the woods. Now, this song here, if you like that whole nice vocals mixed with growly vocals, this song will blow your freaking mind, man. Oh my God, they do it so well on here. I don't normally dig it. On here, I really dig it. They really do it really, really well. And then the album finishes with I Remember Dying. Holy shit. This is a beautiful and haunting end to this album. I love the percussion, not the drums, the percussion. The song sounds perfectly like it would be at home in Peter Jackson's Middle Earth until you hit about 2 minutes and 30 seconds and the metal kicks in. This song is the killer way to end this album. This album, okay, let me be very clear. I'm going to sum this up now because I see how long this is running on for. This album is a 9 out of 10. A solid 9 out of 10. And the only reason I do not give it a 10 out of 10 is the goddamn double kick. Oh my God. I hate the double kick so much. Other than that, this album is amazing. Yes, this is a music style that has been done before. Comparable in vibes, in Evanescence in some ways, except for she's so much better than Amy Lee on vocals. Very comparable to Nightwish in certain ways. But like I said, instead of leaning into that metal-ish, kind of emo-ish, or the kind of heavy onto the gothy side, this one goes more into the hard, dark rock. Like this Okay, so right now, if I were to put together like a tour and I wanted to really push the dark side, the sexy dark side, the great dark side of hard rock heavy metal. The tour, especially with up and coming talent, just women, just women, three female led groups, one tour, okay? It would be the Pretty Reckless, Hailstorm, and Beyond the Black. I think those three would be a phenomenal tour to put together because they all encapsulate the perfect side of that hard rock heavy metal darkness. The sexy but not having to go out of your way to be sexy. Yeah, right. Taylor, I have complained about Taylor pushing that sex envelope a little further than she really needs to. And when it comes to Liz, it's all about the voice. Jennifer, I will say, I'm gonna pop up a couple pictures here because Jennifer she's pretty hot. I gotta say she is, and I watched a couple videos, but I only listened to them when I was watching them for the most part, and so I didn't notice how hot she was. And going back afterwards, yeah, she's hot. This is classy rock and roll sexy, and I like classy rock and roll sexy. And that's cool because that's the thing I liked about Liz Hale too. Like this is dressed up. We're going out dressy, sexy. Liz Hale would be the casual rock and roll sexy, and then Taylor Momsen would be the skinny little blonde sexy. I don't know. Sorry, that went off or else. Anyways, folks, that's it for this one. I'm gonna leave it there. You should go pick up this album. I tried to get it at both my local record, I have a local record store and I got a franchise chain record store. I tried to get it at both of them. It was nothing but problems trying to get it from both of them. I ended up having to order it online. So in this particular case, try your record stores first. Pick up the telephone, give them a call. Try your record store first. If their record store doesn't have it, then order it online because you have no other choice. But really, Nuclear Blast, you should be doing more to get this album into the stores. I really went chasing after this thing, and I shouldn't have had to chase after it so hard. All right. That's it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, the little bell for notifications. There is a comment section down below. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. There is also a link to Patreon down there. Peace. Love. Take care.